King James translators had a great copy of the Masoretic text. They also had available to them some Septuagint copies, but they overwhelmingly rejected those and chose the Masoretic text. And so today, that's why we say we support the Masoretic text, which underlines the King James Version of the Bible. Some of our detractors choose or prefer the Septuagint and might use something like the fact that Jesus used a Septuagint reading when answering some questions, and they would use that as an endorsement and say that that's what Jesus used universally, but that's not what he used universally. The Septuagint is not a monolithic one thing. There's a number of things that call themselves the Septuagint. So you can see directly in the text where Jesus is answering the Pharisees differently than he's answering the Sadducees. They're both trying to get him on their side. They're both trying to condemn the other side because they use different scriptures. The Sadducees using something akin to or having the heritage of the LXX, the Septuagint, and the Pharisees would say, even Jewish rabbinical guys would say today, we're using a Masoretic text type. And so that gave them different perspectives. In Matthew 19, Jesus is answering verse 3, the Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him and saying to him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said to them, have ye not read? He's saying, what exactly is on your lap? What are you reading? Have you read it? So he's not indicting them on having the wrong scripture. He's indicting them on not recognizing the object of scripture. You're talking about the law, and what the Bible that you have, you've made idolatry. Now, it might be the right text, but that's become an idol, and you're asking the wrong questions. So that's how he answers the Pharisees. When you go ahead to say Matthew chapter 22, the same day came to him the Sadducees, which say there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto him. So whose wife is she? Jesus answered and said unto them, and listen to the difference in his answer. Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. So he didn't answer the Pharisees that way. He said, have you not read? You have the Bible. Haven't you read the part here? But the Sadducees, he says, you're in error because you don't even know what the scripture is. You don't even have the right scriptures. And so you don't even know the power of God. You don't believe in the power of God. The Pharisees believed in the power of God, and Jesus used their scripture to appeal to them. But to the Sadducees, he corrected them in the regards of what they had. You can read this throughout the New Testament when the different factions are coming to Jesus and asking him questions. In other words, they had conflict over what text to use in their day, and Jesus was alive during that day. And it wasn't new to that day, because that was real in the Garden of Eden as well, as to what hath God said. And shall you die? Is there supernatural? The argument continued then, it continues today. So for someone to say that the Septuagint is a monolithic thing that was greatly used, the percentages show otherwise, and the weight of evidence is on the side of the Masoretic text. And that's what even the Jews today would prefer to use, the Bomberg-Kayim text of 1524, which is exactly what the King James translators used.